We don't do intros.
We don't do intros. Are we live?
Hmm?
Are we like recording?
What do you mean?
Did you start the recording?
I don't know what you're saying. Yes, I did. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this bit any longer. It's a stupid bit. We were talking about multiple things. First thing, what are you? Okay, we have a few conversation topics. Which one do you want to do first?
Well, we were just talking about
Commission.
artists, I guess.
We were talking about commissioning artists and talking to artists. Well, I think. Have you ever commissioned an artist?
I have not yet, anyways.
Okay. Well, I have, and it feels very powerful. Like, cause it's like
makes you feel like an aristocrat.
Yeah. There's that post where I'll put it on screen if I can find it, where an artist is like, "Oh, sorry about your commission. I know it's taking so long. I just want to make it look as nice as possible." And I'm there, like on my balcony with my laurels, sitting in my chair eating grapes, and I'm like, "Oh, that's fine, my lovely. No worries.
My lovely.
I treat my artists the best." It's nice talking to artists. I love it.
An artist needs their muse.
Yeah.
I understand. Take your time.
I feel so kind. I don't know if that makes me a selfish asshole, but whenever
Makes you feel benevolent.
It does. They're like, I remember the artist I commissioned for the thumbnail in the of Audrey making me talking. They had exams going on at the time that they took my commission, and they were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, the exams are taking so long," and I was like, "Oh, no worries. You take as long as you need." And I gave him a little kiss, and I was like, "I feel so nice." It's probably in contrast to how artists are normally treated, you know? Because
I was saying this earlier, but like, a lot of people are like surprisingly assholish to artists.
Yeah, well,
like, you're going in on their turf and being like, "You're charging a bit too much for this, huh?"
Oh well.
It's like, you not see the commission sheet?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were a economicalist, an economics major. Wait, if I'm charging too much, why don't you become an artist if it's so fucking easy, and then you charge less? You'll get all the commissions. It'll be great. Why don't you charge $20 per commission? Because when you think about it,
never get any money.
Well, you'll probably get money. It's just you'll get so many commissions. You'll get so many commission, like people are like, draw my thing, and you can only take so much at once, and it takes a long time to make it. It's like that thing where it's either fast and cheap.
It's the triangle: fast, cheap, or good.
Yeah, fast,
you can get
cheap,
it fast,
good.
Cheap, but it's not going to be good. You can get it fast and good, but it's not going to be cheap. Or you can get it cheap. No,
you're getting there. You're getting there.
Is it cheap and good, but it's not going to be fast?
Yeah,
that last one doesn't really work.
Yeah, for some reason my Discord circle is eternally on, but I'm gonna worry about that later. Well, no, cheap and cheap and good works because that just means it's gonna take forever. Like you're paying me not much, so I'm just gonna take my time with this and just like when I get it done, I get it done.
Yeah. It'll get done when it gets done, and we like that.
Yeah. So if you want it done quicker, go fucking do it yourself, idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact of the matter is the prices are like that because that's how much they value their skills, and also sometimes it really is just worth that much. Considering that as someone who can't draw in the slightest, it's like I can just pay to use someone else's like skills for like to use someone else's skills as my own in a sense. Like I want this drawn, I can't draw it. I'm gonna pay for you to like be my hands and draw it for me. I'm gonna give you very shitty references so you know what I want, and then you're gonna create it. But it's gonna be in like my desires or something. Because I mean, you choose what artist to commission, so you know what style you want it to be.
Exactly.
The profile picture I have is commissioned. Thumbnails are commissioned. I've commissioned hentai before. I love commissioning artists. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, if I had the disposable income, I would totally be commissioning artists like
Yeah.
all the fucking time.
What's a cute anime girl you'd commission art of that you don't think it's enough
I
art?
mean, okay. Well, I was gonna say Megumin, and then you added that last bit.
Yeah, it's an unpopular girl. Or just who would you commission? Period. I guess.
I mean, obviously Megumin.
Hmm.
That's my fucking profile picture,
Yeah.
and it has been for fuck
Years.
half a decade, I guess,
Yeah.
at least. Um, and then second on that list is probably Natsuki from Toki Toki Literature Club,
Hmm.
who I have on my second monitor right now.
Hmm. The Natsuki Plus. Is it Natsuki Plus? I'm not good with names. The mod.
Oh, it's just just Monica.
Oh, it's called just
Well,
Natsuki.
it's yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They
Oh no, you're cutting out.
damn it.
Oh, is my college internet gonna ruin me once again?
Are we good? Are we stable?
Hold on, is anything updating in the background? Let me check my. I, I, just- I don't think anything. Okay, we should be good. You're not cutting out anymore. Say something. Say a good sentence real fast.
Sorry, I was sneezing. Hello.
Okay, you're back. Yeah, hopefully
We're
we start to
back.
got cut out. That's gonna be a shame because we have a lot to
That'll be
talk
a real
about.
shame. We do. We have lots of things to talk about.
Yeah, let's go. Uh,
Cute girls.
well,
Plenty of cute girls.
I'm not finished with my artist discussion, but I have something that relates to cute girls.
Yeah, go for it.
Like very niche furry, like very odd fetish art. Because it's
Yeah,
so
what about?
niche, they can get paid like thousands of dollars
Per commission, yeah.
Yeah, per commission. And you hear stories about people who have to do like scat art, and they're like, I get paid thousands of dollars, but I vomit all the time while I'm drawing it just because it's so disgusting.
Yeah, that's the fucking green text or the 4chan post. It's like
Yeah.
I fucking hate this, but I can't get a normal job.
It's a blessing and a curse. What can I say? The ability
Yeah,
to like, bring anything you want to this world.
it certainly is.
But I mean, but we're talking like artists are always like these innocent little babies, and other people are rude to them. But sometimes artists can be kind of mean or like kind of just like
Sometimes it
irresponsible
can
as
be.
well. It's not often. Most of the time, it's the other way around. But
Yeah.
you get an artist, you commission them, and then like a month goes by, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, I forgot." It's like, what the fuck do you mean?
What do you mean you forgot? I'm paying you.
Yeah.
Or I assume. I don't know how the commission process works.
It depends on art. It's artist to artist. Some do half up front, half later. Some do full payment later. Maybe it's because I have a good relationship with a lot of the artists I commission, but they generally let me pay. Like afterhand.
Okay.
But I think if you're new and you're like this is the first time commission, they're always like, okay, I want either all of it now or half of it now, and then after like the sketch phase is done, I'll do full of it
Okay.
because they're not suckers, I
Well,
imagine
no,
they.
you got to make sure that you're actually going to get paid for the work that you're going to do.
Yeah. Oh, who's calling me? Oh no, I'm gonna cut this out.
Oh.
I got a scam call. It's a robot voice saying, "Hello, this call is from Amazon." I'm like, I don't care, man.
Yeah, like fuck it isn't.
Oh my god, who's giving out my phone number like that? Is it like I don't know, man? Is it the hospitals? Is it the restaurant people? I don't know.
The restaurant people.
Yeah, when they're like, "Oh, well, call me when when there's like a spot in the restaurant for me to sit down on." Like, okay,
Yeah.
can we have your phone number? It's like, okay, and then they give it to sell it to I don't know, the dark web.
Yeah. And then you get a scam call from Amazon saying like, "Oh, you owe us like $5,000," and it's like, "Nah, no, I don't."
I remember when one time when I was a kid, I answered the phone and it was a scam call about how we won a cruise, and I was real excited. And I told my mom, and she had to tell me like, "Brandon, that's not real." I'm like, "But the guy said on the phone." She's like, "Brandon." You can't
It's
trust
been
anything.
downhill ever since.
Yeah, that was paramount to being like Santa isn't real. Like, oh, people can just lie. Like, people would do that. Just call other houses and lie.
Yeah,
It works. That's why they do it.
that's why they do it.
I mean, the infamous gift card scam was so prevalent that I've seen like signs in stores, like at the cash registers, being like police will never ask you to like buy gift cards for them. You
Yeah.
fucking mong. How? Why would that? Why would they ever do that?
They'll have like signs at the store, and like if they see you buying like an obscene amount of gift cards, they'll be like, "Are you buying this for someone on the phone?" And they'll be like, "Oh yeah," and then they're like, "It's a scam. Don't buy this."
How are you? How are they? I just don't get it. Like, I remember there was a news story about a lady who was buying like thousands of dollars in gift cards, and the cashier was like, "This is a scam. You're being scammed." And the lady was like, "No, it's the police. I'm gonna get arrested if I don't do this." It's like, how are you this? I don't. Were you born
Very
yesterday?
adamant.
Are you from the past? I don't understand.
I mean, technically, yeah.
I guess that is true. I don't know, man. Like, I've never been scammed in my life. I always
Been
managed.
scammed like once or twice in like TF2, but
I think it's because you got scammed before I did that I'm like I've been able to learn not to
yeah,
trust
probably.
anyone. Yeah,
You learn from my mistakes.
it's also probably just my severe trust issues where I'm just like, all right, even if someone comes to my door and like Jesus himself is behind them and they're giving me like $1 million, I'm like, I don't trust this. It's probably laced with fentanyl or something.
Probably laced with fentanyl.
Speaking of fentanyl, I went to the doctor's today and I'd like to talk about that because it's a funny story.
Is it? I was
Yeah.
gonna not avoid. I wasn't gonna mention it, but
No, it was pretty
go
funny.
for it.
When I say funny, I mean it was all right. So, uh, so I went to the doctor's, and it was one of those examinations where they're like, "Okay, take off your pants," and I was like, "All right, why not?" But the problem was when I got into the doctor's office, there were these two really cute girls about my age, and they're like, "Okay, take off everything but your socks and your shirt," and I was like. I was in my head. I was thinking there was two things I was thinking in my head. It was one, please don't make fun of my very tiny penis, and then two was Brandon, please don't get an erection just because there's a cute girl in front of you. Thankfully, neither happened, but I got
I would have been like, "Fuck, finally."
it. Oh, jeez.
I'm finally in a room with two cute girls, and they're asking me to get naked. Fuck.
yeah,
It's happening.
it's
Well,
technically
I know
happened.
Yeah.
I think I was like too nervous to like get to tell you now, but
Yeah.
and I was hoping in my head I was like hoping I'd be able to like cover myself up, but they're like no, just get on the table, like lay out full out. I was like oh, okay, and it got worse because one of the little girls was like I need to use this special hospital sanitizer around your junk area, so and I felt kind of like a baby because she was like patting and like rubbing all around my penis weenus area to make sure it was sanitized for the doctor. And at that point, I was thinking, please, God, Brandon, do not get hurt here. If I did, that would have been the end of it for me.
Did you?
No, I didn't. Thankfully. And after that, yeah, she's like a really cute young girl. She's like handling my penis. I'm like, oh man, this is weird. And
Don't
after,
get an erection.
yeah, but
Would you consider it a win or a loss that you didn't?
I'd say a win. It was actually very professional. We had a nice conversation with each other while I was just naked and she was like, cleaning my taint.
Yeah.
I was already clean. I took a shower in the morning, so I, because I want to be courteous to the doctor.
Yeah.
Long story short, I do want to say because this leads into the story. They didn't find anything. I was perfectly healthy. They did a funny bladder scope where they have to stick a camera up your I guess penis hole.
Up your cock hole.
Yeah, which is not fun. And I asked the lady who was cleaning me, who was sanitizing me. I said how much does it hurt? And I was hoping she'd be like, no, it doesn't hurt. Don't worry about it. But she said, it depends. And I was like, oh, why'd you say it depends?
It depends.
You couldn't lie to me. She's like, some people like don't move. Some people like are very tender and they feel like sharp pain. And I'm like, oh, I'm very tender. I'm very very tender, aren't I? And
Well, did it hurt?
oh my god, it hurt like a bitch. Because the only thing that's ever come out of that area, things have only ever come out of that area. So when something went in,
Yeah,
it was like, no, don't do this, don't do it. This is not good. I didn't curse, thankfully, so I'm still going to heaven. But
yeah. No, I talking about medical procedures that fucked you up. I got my wisdom teeth out recently, and man, I cursed like a fucking sailor coming out of that appointment. Apparently, I don't remember it.
I mean, you were drugged, so you have an excuse.
I was so sedated. I don't remember any of it. I've never told this story on the podcast, but getting my wisdom tooth out, it was pretty fun. Because I went in and I like sat down on the chair, and then they put the IV in my arm, and she's like, "Oh, this is just saline. I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna do whatever, and you stay here and relax." And I said, "All right." And then she comes back in like 10, 15 minutes later, and she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna start you on the sedation now." And there's this like, I guess like a Y split in the IV tube, and she like put a fucking syringe into the IV, and she like pushed in on it, and she pushed that in, and she's like, "You're gonna start feeling a bit funny here now, okay?" And then I woke up at home.
Were you worried at all? Like when you woke up, you're like, oh my god, what happened? Or
No, I was still half out of it when I woke up at home.
okay, so
I have a couple of videos on my phone that I recorded on the way home that I do not have any recollection of.
I remember I saw one where when you're on the way home, you were just saying constantly like, "Oh man, I'm fucking zooted."
Yeah. Except it was not that coherent. It was more like because my mouth was full of gauze and blood and
You want to, and you have an excuse. You're basically a giant like baby, but you have an excuse. You know, you're
yeah.
drugged up to shit and in immense pain.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk
On the
about
way
your
home,
hat?
I like.
Or...
Oh yeah. I'm actually kind of proud of this. I have a hat that I wear sometimes when I go out, and I like to put pins on it. So like I have like a pin from like where I was born. I have a pin from like my grandmother, and I also have a pin that I got for Christmas of Natsuki from Doki Doki Literature Club on there, and I'm very protective of this hat. So I wore this hat to the appointment too, and I don't recall this at all, but I was very, very adamant that I left there with my hat. Very adamant. I was like, "Where's my hat? I need my hat."
Man, thank God you didn't say wife instead of hat. Oh my man.
Oh man,
That would have been a long conversation.
it would have been. God, it would have been a long conversation with my mother where she figures out that she's not gonna have grandkids.
Yeah. What do you mean wife? It's like, well, I love her.
Yeah.
It's like she can't love you back. It's like no woman can.
No woman can. It's the same. Yeah.
So even in your most primal state, you're still like, I like my hat and I like my wife.
It's my wife.
Do you want to take a picture of just the pin and send it to me so I can put it on the screen, or do you want to not? Because either way, it's fine.
Yeah, I'll take a picture.
Okay, you can do it later.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take a picture. I'll take a picture and like put it on screen.
No, well, you won't put it on screen. I'll put it on screen.
Well, you will. I'll take the picture in a little bit.
Okay.
I'm a bit tied up here in a second.
That's fine. Yeah, you don't need to take a picture now. You have a long time till this comes out. You have like a week. But there's still more to the sounding story, where the girl saw me naked. I felt like I was like, oh man, this is how girls in ENF porn feels, isn't it? I was like, oh man, it's kind of hot. but
This is kind of
they have this thing called a numbing agent, and they
Yep.
kind of just squirt it down the. This might be it. It's not. It's not gonna be too gross, but they kind of squirt it down like your little hole, and it's supposed to make it feel numb, so you don't feel any pain. But by God, did I feel pain? I remember the doctor. He was like, once it got into my bladder, the doctor was like, "Oh, look, it's so cool. You have such a healthy bladder." And he's like pointing at the screen, trying to get me to look, and I'm like, "I'm not looking." He's like, "Oh, look, it's like the inside of a cheek." And I'm like, "Why are you? You're having fun with this?" He was such an asshole. And while I was doing it, they apparently they have this thing where they pump water into your bladder so that I don't know why, but they were doing that, and some of it was spilling out. And I thought while he was doing the procedure, I was pissing all over him. I really thought I was, but I didn't have anything. I didn't say anything because I was like, "This hurts like a motherfucker. I'm not gonna say sorry. I'm peeing all over you."
It's just retribution.
Yeah, I was like, "This is payback for you making fun of me."
Yeah.
But then after he pulled it out, I was like, "Okay." I was like, I felt very different. Um, but immediately afterward, he's like, "Okay, now I'm gonna check your prostate." And then I was like, "Okay." So, and he was like, "Turn over," and I was like, "Okay." And without warning, he just sticks his finger in my ass, and I'm like, "Oh." It was very sudden.
Turn your head and cough.
Yeah. It was very sudden. He just put it in there, and I was like, ah. And then he pulled it out, and I was like, "Oh, is that it?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, okay." Oddly enough, though, it didn't hurt at all. Like, it didn't feel that weird.
No.
Maybe because I've used dildos before, it just didn't feel that weird. Like, I've had bigger things inserted in there.
Okay.
A little bit. I wish, man. I need like a little twink. I just want someone to love me. The point is, I'm perfectly healthy, and that was a waste of time to go there. So I went through all that nonsense for nothing. But I
I'm
would,
getting that picture now, by the way.
yeah, I would like a nice little twink to be my Twinkie boyfriend and have him like wear cute girl clothes.
Hold on a
I'd
second,
be
I
the
gotta go
top.
get I'd be the top. Yeah, okay, I believe you.
I would be.
Hold on a second. I shall be back momentarily.
I told him he doesn't have to take the picture now. I told him you could take the picture whenever you want. And he was like, "Oh no, you gotta take a picture now. I'm gonna forget about it later because I have fucking ADHD and I'm gonna fucking vomit and I'm gonna do 30 other things and I'm not even gonna understand what I'm doing." I'm like, dude, just take it.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, I'll cut out all that waiting time. Don't worry. You take the picture?
Well, I'm trying to.
Okay. He's trying to. I mean, how fucking hard is it? Just get your hat and take a picture, idiot. You just go, "Oh, I gotta get the lighting right and I gotta make sure that the pose."
Well,
and...
it was very dark in here, so had to like turn on the light.
You and your excuses. Let me know when you're done.
No. Alright, let's see if any of these turned out half decent.
Alright, don't send them to me now because I actually can't see the chat because the way I have the Discord bubble set up.
Alright, well, I'll send them after the recording, then.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe, you know what? Eventually, I think maybe a few episodes from now, we'll get like a gay guest on and we can talk about balls with him. And you can just be there listening.
I could just be there listening.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, any gay homos out there? Any femboys want to come on the podcast? Please.
Please.
Yeah. Tell us about your experience as a girl bracket boy.
Colonel Bracken boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you were saying.
As you were saying, about Undyne.
Yeah, I like Undertale a lot. I like Undyne. I like cute girls. I like Sans. I wish Sans was I wish I was Sans.
You wish you were Sans.
I wish Sans was my dad.
You wish you were Sand Undertable.
Yeah, I really like characters like Sans who are very powerful and they just never like have a reason to like show it or use it. I don't know. I like good overpowered characters. I mean, One Punch Man is the
Yeah,
obvious example, but I would say
yeah.
Sans is in that choice too. He doesn't use his power because he knows there's spoilers for Undertale, by the way.
I mean,
Um,
if you haven't played it by now, fucking, what are you doing?
yeah, he doesn't use his powers because he knows it's pointless, and he only uses it when absolutely necessary. I'm like, I don't know. I find something about the fact that people who have their powers and don't go crazy with it. I find
Mm.
that very interesting.
Well, it's a
Oh,
lot about. It says a lot about their character, you know.
yeah. I mean, if you want to see like truly how good someone is, you just give them power and see what they do with it.
Mm.
I never like that whole thing of power corrupts. I always think it's like power reveals corruption. You know,
Yeah,
the fact of the matter is like 99.9% of people would, they have some dark shit in their soul. So
yeah. Dark Souls.
good, very good. You got it.
Hmm. I'm a smart man, and you're a
Yay.
fart smeller.
Is this gonna be the rest of the episode?
No.
Oh yeah, we were talking about translation stuff earlier.
Yes.
Localizers in anime have been there's been a lot of
Fucking localizers.
a lot of fire on them recently, and thankfully so.
Rightfully so, yeah.
Yeah. Nagatoro is the big example where they make her say Giga Chad, and they make her
Yeah.
say they insert memes into their translations.
It's just not appropriate.
Yeah. They
Like you are. I mean, I'm gonna be real. I think the job title of localizer is completely useless.
what makes you say that?
Localizing is not the same as translating, right?
No.
Localizers, their only job is to change the source material to better suit a foreign audience.
Is that what their job? I thought their job was to change like idioms and stuff that just don't work in Japanese or other languages into English.
Well, maybe that's how it was at the start, but
Hmm.
it's kind of evolved into just fucking taking the source material and just shitting all over it.
I mean, it's immensely disrespectful to the artist.
Yeah, like
There's sorry.
talking about like what you were saying then about there's a lot of Japanese idioms that make no sense in English.
Hmm.
So sometimes, yeah, you're gonna want somebody to localize the translation of that because people are gonna see that and be like, what, huh? What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah,
Type
like
deal.
this joke doesn't make sense. It's a pun, but there's no pun. It's a pun in Japanese, but it's not a pun in English.
Yeah, so they have to change it to something else that is actually, well, one, it has to relate to the source material, and two, it has to make sense.
Hmm.
But a lot of localizers nowadays are just taking this opportunity to put fucking memes in like official translations.
I guess they see it as like an improvement almost. I don't understand.
I don't understand it.
Well, I mean, your job, even if it was an improvement, your job isn't to improve like the source material. It's to
No,
make it
that's
understandable.
that's out of your scope.
Like if I was a localizer, I hate Shield Hero, but I'm not going to change the dialogue to make it better. Like that's not what the
No,
artist did. I'm not going to change.
that's it's not appropriate at all.
No. Um.
It's even though it is like even if I was like you said, localizing for like a show that I fucking hate, I'd still properly localize it. I wouldn't be like, okay, now's my chance to make this show good.
Yeah. I mean, I think the example I actually have it on DVD because I like to collect physical copies of my things.
Mm-hmm.
It's more through just translated text. Also, I mean, Funimation does dubs, and they're infamous for being poorly localized.
Jelly donuts.
Pokemon is probably the most infamous example where rice balls was
Yeah.
changed to jelly donuts for some reason.
For some fucking reason.
I guess they're afraid kids would be like, I would explode at the idea of a rice ball, or maybe they'd ask their mom for a rice ball. I don't understand. But in Dragon Maid, there's a bit where Lukua first shows up, and she's dressed, very provocatively, very based. Makes me want to have sex with her. God, I love Shota on her. Oh man, I wish I was Shota. He cuddles with her, and what?
Focus.
Sorry, I was thinking about having a cuddle thing. There's a bit where she first shows up, and in the Japanese text, Toru is like, "You came here like that?" She's like, "Yeah, everybody was like looking at me and stuff," and she was like, "Oh, well, maybe you should like change your clothes and probably change your form so you don't have ginormous breasts."
Yeah,
I'm paraphrasing, but and then in the version on the DVD that I listened to, she said Lukua instead says like, "Oh, all those men and their like pesky patriarchal like standards are getting on my nerves, so I had to change my outfit or something."
Yeah, something like that. It's just.
And in my head, I was like, "That's not what it was originally," and it wasn't. There was no need to do that.
No, this localizing, fucking. At least nowadays, it feels like 9 times out of 10 it's just inappropriate.
Well, yeah, I think it's sorry.
I say that, but I have no way to know.
No, we don't speak Japanese. We just see the comparisons.
We just
I mean, maybe it's true that everyone's just lying to us, and they're actually translated 1-to-1. Maybe Nagatoro really does say Giga-chan in Japanese, but
I don't think she does. Even if even if she does, like, I saw the like, there was one guy that I saw that like, posted the actual translation, for what she says there, and she says something along the lines of like, "Oh, are you trying to change your image?" Which obviously means he's trying to become a Giga Chad.
You don't understand. God. It's a Japanese idiom.
It's an ancient Japanese idiom that means my opinion is correct and yours is wrong.
Well, have you ever translated anything, retard? Yeah, shut up.
I mean, I've translated from French, but that's not a real language.
No. I think Fire Emblem gets the worst of it, because there's a lot of references to like to femininity and love and whatnot, and they kind of just remove all those in Western translations. I don't know why. Maybe because people are too sensitive. I don't even think it's people. I think it's just like a select group of translators who are like, "Oh, I don't like how this girl says that she wants to be pretty like this girl. I'm gonna change that." It's like, no.
Like, yeah.
See, that's not how it was. You're just irresponsible. You're using your powers for evil. It's not much. It's not much that the original artist can do either.
No, like, what can you do? Well, actually, no. There's nothing you can do. It's just like, oh yeah, it's getting localized overseas, and it's like, okay, can I see the localization? Sure. Okay, I assume this is good.
Well, a big example.
I don't speak the language.
A huge example that pissed me off was there is this cross-dressing manga, and
yes.
yeah, and they changed the main character from being a cross-dresser into being trans, which is just not what it was. And it pissed so many people off that the official publisher was like, "All right, yeah, this is a shit translation. We're gonna change it, and sorry for disrespecting the original work." Yeah, it completely. It's funny because it completely changed the main character from someone who's like aloof to like this like kind of girl boss in a sense.
Yeah,
maybe not girl boss is the right word, but
there's a couple of accounts I follow on Twitter that are like specifically. What is it called? Otoroko?
I don't know what that means.
It's like basically the translation of like a cross-dressing boy or something like that. But like a lot of mangas that get a serialization in English-speaking countries just get changed into being trans instead of just cross-dressing.
Maybe it's because a lot of people have trouble thinking that like cross-dressing doesn't mean that you want to change your gender. Like, I'm a boy, but I just want to wear a cute skirt.
Yeah, like those are. It's not the same thing.
Two different things. Like if I was
personally, I'm not interested in that at all. But
I'm
if I
very
was,
interested.
that wouldn't make me a girl.
No, it wouldn't.
I mean, I still got a wiener.
Yeah, there's still a big differential factor there. I mean, it's fun when you know you're a gay twink bottom cross dressing as a girl and you're wearing a skirt and panties and you're having sex with a strong man who wants to own you. As in,
Okay.
they have slender legs and they have the cute ribbon on their panties and they have nice blonde hair and a feminine mix. You getting horny?
No, I'm straight.
The point is, it's kind of funny, when the guy is getting railed and he's like, impregnate me like a girl, or fuck me in my boy pussy.
Yeah.
I forget where I was going with this.
I also don't know where you were going with this.
Oh yeah, the fact that they still know they're guys. They just like feminine things, and whenever they make reference to them being a girl, it's like in a in a cute like teehee, I'm very feminine kind of way.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are mangas where they're actually trans, but
yeah, I'm sure there is.
I've read a lot of cross-dressing mangas. For the most part, it is just cross-dressing.
It's just guys that want to put on skirts.
Yeah, I did read one where a guy magically becomes a girl, and
One.
well, I'm sure it's only been one so far, but I'm sure there's others. And the point is that he's cute and she's a girl.
Hey, girl.
Okay, now you say something.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't like translation, or not translation. I don't like localizers.
No.
At all.
Well, it's a. I don't think it's not that you don't like localizers. I think it's you don't like bad localizers.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sorry, I woke up an hour ago, so obviously I'm tired at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, bad localization is just.
It's just awful.
I mean, this kind of goes back to, I guess, the importance of artistic intent in my mind.
Yeah. Well, that was relating to whether or not something is art. I think I agree with you in the fact that artistic intent, like what the artist like wants for their piece, is more important than like anything.
Yeah.
Like if an artist,
even if the artist wants fucking some of the most disgusting, vile shit known to man, then they should be allowed to do that.
I'd say as long as it's not illegal.
Yeah.
I don't think artists should be able to.
Can art be illegal?
Yeah. I mean, the obvious example is very like hyper realistic drawings of naked children.
Oh yeah.
Not just lolly, but like
that's fair.
Yeah. The other one would be like, I'm sure there's other examples. I don't really want to think about them. But for the most part, I don't think anything should be illegal like that. No. But the thing is, like, if the artist is like, I want this character to be a cute cross-dressing boy, like, even if you change that, even if you were to change the manga slightly, that would still be disrespecting the original artist's work. Like, even if like the creator of Shield Hero wanted Nafumi to be an abusive asshole, like, I respect that.
I'm not gonna change it.
I'm not gonna want it. If I was a localizer, I'm not gonna change that because that would be super disrespectful. And they didn't. Thankfully, they didn't. I'm glad they didn't.
They didn't change him. He's still just a fucking asshole.
Yeah. Speaking of asshole, do you have anything else you want to say? Because I have another conversation topic.
Shoot.
What kind of? This is like just hypothetically, it's like because what kind of guests would you want on the podcast if we ever got like guests?
If we ever got a guest.
Yeah.
It's actually like this is pure hypothetical. Like
yeah, it can be anyone from like small people to really big people. Anyone you think would be interesting to have a conversation with on the podcast with me and you.
Interesting to have a conversation. The first one that comes to mind is PewDiePie, but that's just because I want to talk to him.
I don't know. I think I'd be too nervous to talk to PewDiePie. He's like this huge celebrity. I mean, he's very, grounded and based, but at the same
I've heard,
time,
yeah. I
at the
was
same,
about to say, I've heard he's pretty grounded.
like, how am I gonna have a normal conversation with him? I'm just gonna be like,
You're gonna talk about, like, wieners, like you just were.
yeah, I don't know what to talk about with him. I don't think we have any common ground, me and him. I
I think you can
especially
talk about amnesia.
maybe. I guess we can talk about how disappointing Amnesia Rebirth was, but you haven't played that, so
I also haven't played that.
yeah, I don't.
I don't.
Don't.
I'm still gonna play the first one.
Yeah, do the first one, and then and then do Soma again, and then never play any other game from Frictional.
What a shame.
Yeah. Scorn, that was terrible. Oh no, guess.
Yeah, guess.
While you think of others, I would like to have. I would genuinely like to have like a femboy on, just to talk about, because I don't know, not a lot of people talk about like cross dressers and like their experience with the cross dressing. I think it's very interesting.
Yeah, that could be an interesting topic, I suppose.
Really, it's just an excuse for me to want to talk to a femboy, but at the same time, yeah,
Yeah.
it could be both.
It can be both.
I like to talk to like
Um,
some good like high profile artists.
Hmm.
I think that would be
Yeah.
neat to be like, what was the worst commission you had?
I mean, considering that like a lot of these podcasts so far have just been talking about like art in various different ways.
That would be the most fitting. I probably should have said artist first instead of femboy, but
Yeah. Which,
listen,
like,
horniness is greater than the heart.
yeah, it's, I don't know. Like, we talk about art a lot on this show, don't we?
Yeah, we do. I mean, the first two episodes were about AI. We had two episodes about like AI in a row. Not primarily, but they're both in the title. At
But we
least
both
they're planned to be.
mentioned. Yeah.
So I think having an artist on would be a perfect fit.
Yeah, getting some high profile artists.
When I say high profile, I mean, what
Like,
do you,
well, decently popular.
decently pop.
The
Because
first
I think
one that pops to mind is like Akai Riot.
Akai Riot.
Akai? I don't know how to pronounce
Akai Riot.
Akai
I've been following him for years. I have no idea how to pronounce his username. I just say.
Well, that'd be the first thing to ask him if he ever comes on the podcast.
Yeah, Akai Riot. That'd be really cool. I think that's probably my dream artist to have on, to be honest.
Yeah, it'd be pretty fun, I think.
Yeah. I mean, even like lower, even like lower profile artists, I'd still want to have on. Like even if you have like
Oh yeah,
like 500 followers or something, I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. How's this like how's our upstarting? How is it a feel to like grow in these beginning stages of your career? It's not just I don't only want like the very popular people, because I think both sides have very interesting perspectives.
Yeah, it's no, they absolutely are. I mean, obviously, when you talk about like people like guests on the show, like the first thing that you kind of think of is okay, like huge people that you would like pretty much never get to talk to otherwise. You know what? I'd really like to talk to like either Bismuth or Summoning Salt.
That would be pretty interesting. If I had to choose, I'd probably do Summoning Salt first. I think he has a lot more going on there in terms of what I would want to ask him.
Yeah, he has a very varied kind of catalog, I guess.
It's just the fact that he essentially created this new genre on YouTube, and he's very what's the word? He extremely consistent with his quality and output. Like his growth is consistent. His rate of uploading videos is pretty consistent.
Yeah.
There's never been a video I've watched of his where I've been like, that was a bad video. And there has been YouTubers who I like who are decently good, and I've watched a video and I'm like, oh, that was a bad video.
Yeah.
Although Bismuth will be interesting because he did the whole ABC documentary.
Yeah.
That would be very, very interesting to get like the inside perspective on that.
Yeah, that'd be really. Yeah, I would like to talk to Bismuth, just even for like an hour. He seems like a very interesting, grounded guy.
Yeah. I'd say, I don't know. Why don't you upload more, man?
What? Upload more.
I just get a guest on and be very
Just more.
disrespectful to them for no reason. Like,
At that point, we're just basically doing a fucking Eric Andre show.
yeah, somebody else comes on. Why do you watch people play video games? It's so stupid. Why don't you just play them?
Why did you play them, idiot?
Yeah, speedrunning. Like, I don't get it. Why don't you just play the game normally?
Yeah, God, fucking idiot.
I'd never do that. I wouldn't have the balls to do that.
No, I
Even as a
I would
joke.
be able to do that. Yeah.
Ekarai comes on, and I'm like, why do you draw anime girls? Why don't you draw, like, real women?
Why don't you draw real women?
When are you gonna draw food and Uri? I'm not gonna. I'm not. I don't want to be like kind of like cute and funny like that. I think I just want to have an actual conversation.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh, you know what?
Well,
I would really like to talk to what's his name? C418.
what? Oh,
The guy that
the
made
Minecraft music. I thought you said B418.
Nah, C418.
They're very
C.
yeah. Sorry, very different. What would
Yeah.
you talk to C418 about?
I don't know. I guess like the process of like making that music, because it's pretty famous nowadays. But like, I guess a lot of people see it through the lens of nostalgia nowadays. But it is still very good at its core.
Yeah, I mean the dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun dun. You just do that for hours.
Hmm.
Dun dun dun. I was like, what was your process? What was that? Because like, there's a lot of pauses in that music. Were you nervous about
Well, it's
thinking it was too much of a subdued track? Was there like original versions that were much more high energy, or
yeah, like there's a lot of I think there's a lot of questions you could ask him.
yeah, these are very these are very high profile people. I'd be an honor to have even one of them on, to be honest.
Oh yeah, like
But
and this is just me like going through like subscription lists and just seeing like, oh yeah, it'd be nice to talk to this person.
Joe Rogan, obviously.
Yeah,
That's a joke.
have him
know.
on our podcast instead. So, how does it feel to be a guest on a podcast that's not yours?
Yeah, how does it feel to be a guest on a real podcast?
Yeah.
So,
No,
have you played Demon Souls?
Jamie, pull that up. And he's like, what? No, that's my line.
Maybe get some OnlyFans girls, get a perspective into that. Get like a top 1% OnlyFans girl to come on and be like, what's it like? You know, do you have like a manager who DMs all the losers?
Yeah.
Don't say losers, Brandon. You're one of them.
Losers.
I subscribe to OnlyFans. I subscribe to OnlyFans girls. I'm included there. Don't worry.
I don't.
I'm punching down or up, whatever. Punching left. I'm punching
down.
left and right.
Yeah.
Forward. Like Belle Delphine.
Belle Delphine. That'd be. Well, I mean, I think she's already had.
She's already been.
She was on the cold ones.
Yeah. Well, I think my question would be like, so did you actually give people herpes with your bathwater, or was that like a bit?
No, I think that's a bit.
You're not Belle Delphine.
Well, I'm not, but.
Well, you could ask her like, she occasionally has like very fetishistic content people disapprove of, and like, what's your opinion on the fact that two people can do things consensually, and they both get enjoyment out of it, and other people are like, well, you didn't ask me if I was okay with this.
Isn't there somebody you forget to ask?
I don't know. Who's your favorite e-boy that you had the pleasure of talking to? And say me, please.
And say me, please. It's okay if you lie. Just say me.
Yeah. The K Heil, the guy who made the funny.
Oh,
and
Kyle?
that goes to.
I think it's Kyle.
Kyle.
Larry. Kyle Airy. I
Yeah,
don't know how to
he
pronounce
made the
his name.
funny Anna goes on a school field trip art. That was a good one.
Yeah. A lot of people got pissed off at that.
I don't know
Uh,
why. I think it's just the fact that like Auschwitz was in it, and like
I
that's
guess
it.
they mentioned. I guess, but there's also she's also holding a book that was written by a Holocaust survivor, I believe, in that image.
Well, even then, it's like it's completely neutral. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't say anything good about
It,
the Holocaust. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't say anything bad about it either.
no.
Which is weird to
It's
say, but it's
at most it's just like kind of
it's just there.
yeah.
I like to ask him
Yeah.
about about where he gets his ideas for art, and if he has any strong feelings about the controversies he provides, like if he enjoys it or if he's just indifferent to it, he just makes his art anyway.
I think he's mostly just indifferent to it. I mean, I
I
obviously can't answer for him, but
would imagine. I'd hope he is because
I mean,
controversies.
he's still making art.
Yeah, I really respect artists who just they don't tweet a lot. They just tweet out art and then they disappear again.
Yeah, they disappear for like 2 weeks, and then
Yeah.
it's like, here's art.
And
Okay.
then they go away. They slick back into their little cave.
Yeah, little art cave.
As they should. I don't mind artists tweeting about whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. I'm not cutting out the yawns. It's too much of a pain to cut out all the yawns, man.
Hell,
Dead ass.
you gotta listen to the yawns in the recording. You fucking
Ugh.
podcast cucks.
I have to listen to these podcasts like 3 times for they're uploaded. I gotta listen to it. I gotta listen to the recording itself. Then I gotta listen to it through in. I listen to it in the recording to make sure if there's any bits I have to edit, and then I have to listen to it once it's uploaded to make sure that the upload is okay. And that's it. I only have to listen to it twice. Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, I have to
You
talk
gotta
through
listen
it.
to
I have
it
to
the whole
live through it.
time
I have
that
to
you're,
live
like-
through it
Yeah. I mean, you're listening to it right now.
in a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't really think of anyone else I'd want on besides artists and e-thoughts. I don't mean that in a derogatory way.
Well, I do.
I do. That's
didn't say
against
anything.
the Bible.
Yeah.
Leviticus
So
239.
is wearing anything that's not hemp. So we're all going to hell.
I'm not going to hell.
No?
No. I don't think. I mean, I want to have people on who I wouldn't feel nervous to talk to. I mean, obviously, I'd feel nervous with like Akariot and Bismuth and whoever. But
Yeah.
I mean, like someone like PewDiePie, I'd be too nervous to talk to. Elon Musk, I'd be way too
Oh,
nervous to
yeah.
talk to.
Elon Musk.
Yeah. Someone who I have actual like conversations I could talk to them about stuff with. I feel.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want some celebrity on just because I want a celebrity. Like if Beyonce was like, oh, yeah, I'll come on Wasted Potential, I'd be like, what the fuck am I gonna talk about with you?
Yeah, I don't have anything to talk to Beyonce with.
I don't know anything about Beyonce.
I'm sure she probably has some interesting viewpoints, but
I'm sure she'd be great for clicks, but
yeah,
hell, Saucies if I don't know what the fuck to say to her.
I got nothing.
Have you played
It doesn't
Demon
matter.
Souls?
Like, it doesn't matter if you get the clicks if it's a fucking shit episode.
Yeah, I mean, I think so far
Like,
the first 2
like,
episodes. Have
Beyonce's
been...
like, what do you think of Doom 2016?
She's like, well, the mechanic where you have to melee enemies to get your health back. I think it really. I don't know. I don't know what she
That's
sounds
overkill.
like. I don't know what she sounds like. She's like, oh, I think it's really nice because it really forces you to engage in combat no matter what.
Why is she British?
Is she British? I thought she was British.
I don't think she's British.
Well,
I think she's American.
there. It just goes to show, I don't know shit about Beyonce.
Yeah, we don't know fuck all about Beyonce.
Um,
Is she still a single lady? I don't know.
Yeah, I hope not.
You know who I would actually really like to have on the podcast?
Sorry, I'm gonna cut out that silence. Okay, no, say that again. Say that again. Sorry.
You know who I actually really like to have on the podcast?
Who?
You know that guy that uploaded the video about like reload animations
Oh,
and then just fucking dipped?
yeah, that'd be interesting. 'Cause
I
that's
would
a
love to have him on.
Yeah. I
Like,
wonder if he's making something else, or that was like a school project or what.
that is the only video that he's ever uploaded, and it got him 175,000 subscribers and like 3 million views. That's a really good video,
Maybe it was
if
like
you
a
haven't watched
school.
it already.
I'll post a link in the description actually, because it is just that good. I wonder if that was like a school project he did, and so he doesn't feel the need to upload any more videos or what.
I have no idea. Whatever it is, it's
It's a shame he's not here. He's not with us still.
yeah, like I want to watch more of his shit.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a guest on someday. I hope we do. It'd be nice because I think it'll really spice things
yeah.
up.
It would be.
I don't think I'm gonna do a recruitment call right now for anyone listening. I don't really. I really want to do that yet. I'm gonna be careful and cautious about this. Unless you want to. If you want to invite anyone on.
Have anybody?
Sorry, you cut out.
I don't have any.
Oh, geez, you're not gonna believe it, but you cut out once again.
Cutting out right now?
Say it one more time.
Am I cutting out right now?
No, you're good now.
Okay. So that I can like, kind of call out and say like, "Hey, come on my podcast." You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta say though, I think that I'm listening back to the first 2 episodes. I think they're pretty good.
Not to toot your own horn.
No, I'm tooting my own horn. I think they're good episodes. I think we have very long, interesting conversations. There's not a lot of dead space.
Which talking about Dead Space, apparently that got a remake, and it's actually half decent.
Yeah, I haven't played the original.
What do you think about remakes?
Oh God, I'm always very nervous and cautious about it because I think a lot of people just take remakes and they only do graphical updates, and they remove, if not outright make features worse. I know Crash Bandicoot had a remake and it visually looks really nice, but I know they changed how like the hitboxes and jumping works, so that jumps you can make before you just can't make anymore, and that kind of throws me off. But that was a very good remake overall. There's other remakes like God, what are some in more recent memory?
I think it was the Resident Evil 3 remake.
The Resident Evil remakes, they seem to be going really hard on that, and like those games need to be remade. I think they have a really good excuse to remake those games because they're very what's the word? Clunky. Dated? Yeah, dated and clunky. There's a very poor ways to put it, but they have very unusual, not modern controls.
Yeah.
So
well, they gotta have like tank controls, don't they?
They do. Well, that kind of helps out in like the fact that it's very slow and cautious of a game. Like every choice is like deliberate, and you can't really move that fast. But at the same time, like you can probably have a control scheme that's like that doesn't feel like you're controlling a Boeing 269.
Yeah, 269.
I mean, some games just don't need to be remade.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, a lot of remakes are slipping my mind right now.
Oh God, what was I gonna mention?
What were you gonna mention? You brought up. Man, I know this.
I know I brought up remakes, but like.
They're remaking.
I feel like. Okay, go for it.
They're remaking Resident Evil 4, and I don't think Resident Evil 4 really needs a remake. It still looks graphically really good, and I imagine the controls are still really nice. So I don't see why they're remaking that. I think they're just getting into the train of, okay, we remade 1, 2, and 3, so obviously we got to do 4.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to pinpoint when a remake is kind of warranted.
Oh my God,
for me, honestly.
Pokemon games, they subsist off of remakes.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Like I want a Fallout 3 remake.
Yeah.
And I want a Fallout 3 remake because it doesn't even work on Windows 7.
No?
No. Like, you had to get, like, a fucking...
You
had to download, like, a third-party, like, patch to make it work on Windows 7.
So would you want it just to be a graphical and technical update, or would you want them to change, like, the story and characters or missions or something? Or would you just want
God, no.
Completely faithful?
Just pure remake.
Okay.
Update the graphics, update the you know, requirements, I guess,
Hmm.
and then just leave it.
Yeah.
Because I played Fallout 3 when I was like, well, when did Fallout 3 come out?
2000 and 2000 something, wasn't it? Was it pre 2010?
I think it's pre 2010. I played it like 2010, 2011. And at the time, I thought it was like one of the fucking coolest games like ever made. I know it's not nowadays, but
Well, I mean, I have the same feeling with Fallout 3 that I have with Fallout New Vegas. Like that game technically runs like dog doo doo,
yeah,
and the graphics, while they're nice, they are very rustic. Not like aesthetic game. They're very bad, low quality.
poor
So
quality.
if there's a remake of New Vegas where they didn't change anything except for the graphics and the performance, I think I would be a very happy boy.
Yeah,
As I was saying about Pokemon remakes, though, they really like to remake their old games, even when it's not really necessary. Like Pokemon games, they still hold up. Like you can play Heart Gold, which is a remake, and that game still really holds up despite how old it is. Like if they remake it again, I feel like the remake's just going to be worse because they like to do everything in 3D nowadays, and
yeah.
they like to remove features and like to add superfluous things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Pokemon Emerald or Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire got remade into Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which I think are just worse versions of Emerald, which has already existed for 20 years.
Yeah,
So sometimes people just remake things just to like remake them. Like, oh, this will get us some sales.
mm. Like yeah, and like I absolutely think that sometimes a remake is warranted, but I feel like we're kind of getting into a uh, a groove, I guess,
Like
where
we'll.
it's like, okay, it's been however many years since we released this game, so now we got to do the remake.
Hmm.
And then once we do the remake, we're gonna make the 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 fourth one. Like, you know,
Well, if people just do it because they feel
like
like this is something that'll be easy to do, and
yeah,
why not? And make us money.
like yeah.
Thankfully, it doesn't seem
I
like Dead
know.
Space is one of those.
I think Dead Space was warranted. I think it had the same kind of issues as Fallout 3, where it like just doesn't run on modern computers.
Yeah.
Like if I can find like a 20-year-old game on Steam and I can install it and run it perfectly fine, I don't need a remake, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like for example, the issues we've complained about are either graphical fidelity or performance. Like other than that, those games still really hold up, and some games don't even require those.
Yeah,
Like we were talking about earlier with Pokemon, like those games still have good graphics, and they still have like they still perform really well.
you know,
What?
it's well,
Oh,
to
geez, you're gonna have to repeat that, Jim.
what? Groove,
Groove,
a groove.
a
We're getting
groove.
into a groove. Am I cutting really bad?
Uh, no. Say your sentence one more time.
I said I feel like we're getting into a groove.
No, you're good now.
Okay, that's good.
There was these games called sorry, not to completely non sequitur from you, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I have something I want to talk about now. Uh,
Hmm.
Abe's Oddworld and Abe's Exodus. These are very old games that got a remake, and the remake
Hmm.
is pretty worse than the original in every way.
Mm.
And it just I find it kind of funny how remakes can do that. People can see the original game, they have it all laid out for them, and they're like, okay, we're gonna take this, and then we're gonna make it worse. I don't know how they do that.
Yeah,
There's a really good video on it that I might link in the description, but
that's a bit of a shame.
yeah. And now you say something.
Real shame. Um, I guess. Well, this is, I guess, somewhat related. Blood is
Oh my god, you cut out.
on Steam.
Is the internet just gonna? Okay, say that one more time.
So Back for Blood is 75% off on Steam, and that is a game that, man,
I remember when I first played it, I was like, this is just Left 4 Dead but worse.
yeah,
The enemies are worse, the characters are worse, like the mechanics I thought were worse.
yeah,
I was like, why would I? Because I wouldn't compare it to Left 4 Dead if it wasn't for the fact that all over the marketing it was like from the creators of Left 4 Dead 2. Oh, this is
yeah.
just like Left 4 Dead 2 but better because it's Left 4 Dead 3 basically. And I played it, I'm
It's
like,
Left
these
4 Dead
mechanics
3.
suck. Like, there's no charm. Um,
No,
the
there's
enemies
nothing.
all look identical. Hello.
Yeah, they all look identical. It's
Okay.
it's. Sorry, I was just kind of zoned out.
All right.
It's not a great game.
And I don't feel bad for it. I don't feel bad for it not being a thing anymore. Everybody stopped
It's
playing it. They were just like, "Oh man, this makes me want to play Left 4 Dead 2."
and then they did play Left 4 Dead
That
2.
that game was an advertisement for Left 4 Dead 2.
It totally was.
I played it and I'm like, "Oh man, I want to go play this game now." I man, if I had friends, I'd probably play Left 4 Dead 2 a lot more. But oh well.
Oh man, it's kind of funny. They've already like stopped supporting Back for Blood.
Yeah, I mean they kind of have to. At least they cut their losses. I mean, like Left 4 Dead 2
Like,
is a game I never want to see be remade because it doesn't need to because it's still really really good. But
it's still really good.
Back 4 Blood's kind of broken from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, from the get-go. Talking about games that are broken from the start. What about FNAF Security Breach?
I don't know what the fuck happened there, man. Like it's free roam FNAF. You thought that would have been a slam dunk, but they change it. Like it doesn't look like a horror. I still in my head I'm like, oh yeah, this is supposed to be like a horror game. And immediately one of the enemies, like one of the robots, is like, oh, this guy's a friend. It's like, oh okay. Oh, the character has a name. And he's like this cartoon kid. It's like, oh okay. Everything's so bright and like all colorful, and
It's so colorful.
it's so
It has
disarming.
no atmosphere.
No, and like the main enemy, she's like some random fuck off, like no, like nobody, like this random girl.
Vanessa, I think her name is.
Is it? I don't know. I've only seen her in the porn.
Yeah. That's fair.
How do you like
Remember, I saw that. Well, there's this. I guess in the FNAF lore, there's like the spring lock suits, right?
Yeah, spring lock suits.
And for whatever reason, in Security Breach, they made Vanny, which is basically just Vanessa in a bunny suit, and they just completely ignored the opportunity to use a spring lock suit for that.
Wait, really? Wait, is it just her in a bunny? Why is she in a bunny suit? Is it like an
I don't know.
animatronic or is it like a bunny suit?
No, it's just straight up like fabric.
Oh,
It's like skin tight bunny suit.
is this supposed to be an erotic game?
I don't think so, but it's hard to tell.
I understand it's a different developer. It's like not Sky. It was some other company, but I don't know, man. Like just look at the the fan 3D and FNAF, the fan free roam games. They're these dark, like dank kind of areas. These like
Yeah.
run down, like yeah. I don't want to use the word liminal space, but you've seen those images of like
Yeah.
very dark restaurants or something, or places you've seen in your nightmares, stuff like that.
Mm.
Imagine that,
Yeah.
but with like very creepy, realistic, like robots following you, like those old like Chuck E. Cheese like robots.
Yeah, that's
Instead of-
creepy.
Instead of making them
That's
like,
real creepy.
like going back to like the roots of what FNAF originally was, because the Security Breach is extremely cartoony.
Yeah. Like
Uh,
it doesn't canny feel.
Well, the original FNAF animatronics were like, oh, this plays into a fear a lot of people have, but just has never been capitalized on, and now
Yeah.
it's
Well, I remember hearing about like the whole reason that FNAF got made is I think what's his name, Scott Cawthon. He was trying to make like a game for like whatever, and like all the animations in it were like it kind of shit on, and people were like, "Oh, it just looks like an animatronic. Like
Well,
it doesn't look real."
they
And then he
would-
just like, well, what if I did an
Well,
animatronic?
sorry, I don't mean to keep saying, but I know a lot about the story. it's actually kind of
Hmm.
expiring how Scott Cawthon became the man he is today. I
Yeah,
respect the hell out of him.
yeah.
So when he made these games, they always got received very poorly. They were like Bible games, you know. They were just very odd, low budget,
Hmm.
uh, PS1 poly kind of games. And his
Yeah,
character design specifically, not just the animation, but also the character designs, people would compare them to like those old Chuck E. Cheese robots. They'd be like, these things
okay.
just look like very cheaply made, like animatron. Like they wouldn't say animatronics because really they'd say like the cheaply made like
Like the
robots from Chuck E. Cheese,
yeah,
and they're kind of creepy. And that's like a criticism, but Scott took that criticism and it's like, okay, I'm gonna play because that's something I can obviously do if everyone's saying that my
yeah,
things look like shit in this kind of sense. I'm gonna play into that,
yeah.
and by God, he did. Um,
He did.
he put all of his
He
eggs into
worked with
one
his
basket,
strength.
and he took a criticism and turned it into his strength, and that ended up being like his call to fame.
Yeah, I think that's a good story.
And people shit on
And and now we get security breach.
like it's completely divorced from those roots.
Yeah,
Now people are saying like it's kind of funny. People are now saying like these don't look like creepy animatronics anymore.
yeah. No, they're all very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, they look like what I suppose that's kind of weird because this is like future tech and they're supposed to
Yeah.
look aesthetically pleasing. But
Hmm.
I like just don't have your
Well, that's
game
what I
set in
mean.
the
Is
future
like
then if you don't want to have, you know, creepy
it's broken from go.
I
It's
like
like,
I
okay, we're in the future and the animatronics look good now. It's like, okay, well, let's go back now. We're already on the wrong path.
I think so. Like that's a very hard idea to make work. I'm sure
Yeah,
in some sense you could, but I you have to be a fucking very smart boy to figure that out.
you would.
Uh, it makes me it's kind of makes me ashamed, sad because Scott Cawthon did all these great. I think they're pretty good games.
Yeah.
Like considering they're made by one
I mean,
man,
he also
they
like wrapped up the I guess the lore and the story pretty well in what was it, the pizzeria simulator?
uh
I mean, everybody knows
I guess
Terminator,
I think can everyone knows Connection Terminator. The voice acting is really good.
but
I did
that's like the end point
that was the end point. Yeah,
for,
so
and then we got security breach.
yeah, he gave the rights to some other team, and I was like, okay, now it's your guys' turn. You know, keep the legacy going. And I don't know, maybe they weren't fans. Maybe they were like, okay, let's do this free roam stuff, and they didn't really understand why people wanted free roam. Uh,
Mm.
I don't know what happened.
Well, I think they were fans, but I think they just kind of got lost.
I guess maybe originally it wasn't to be very scary, but then they're like, okay, we can't do that, so let's just slightly adjust it into this new direction, without realizing that they just need to start over completely.
Yeah, they really needed to just say, hey, we're not going to release it this time. We're going to redo it.
Yeah. I mean, case in point, the fact that it came out so broken and unfinished, like that's very odd to have from FNAF because those FNAF games they were produced extremely quickly.
Yeah,
FNAF 1, 2, 3, 4, they all came out like pretty closely within a pretty close time frame of each
I
other.
think they all came out like within 3 or 4 years
Yeah, and
from the first one.
they're very like they're very functional games. They're very simple, but they're very functional.
Oh yeah,
You wouldn't be able to tell like, oh, this was made in like 2 months. You wouldn't be able to tell that.
no,
But with Security Breach, if you were told this is made like a game jam session, you'd be like, okay, I can see it.
yeah.
You know, if
It's like,
they
okay,
okay,
fine.
they got some like pre-used
I'll forgive
assets.
the bugs.
Yeah, but
There's a guy to watch on YouTube. His name is Astral Spiff,
hmm
and he does a lot of like FNAF security breach speedruns, and he's very much like, this is my garbage pile, you know?
this is garbage that I enjoy. This is what I like to roll around in.
Yeah, like this is my trash.
Mm.
Um, but like he'll do like speed runs on like current patch, and then something completely game breaking will happen, and he's just like, yeah, this is just the game. And then like It's funny because every now and then he'll like do something kind of innocuous, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm just gonna fucking unload everything."
He'll do something like, I'm
Like
just gonna
I
go in this
remember
room.
there was a bug where if you jumped before getting in, like Freddy, it would just unload everything.
What, would you fall through Freddy and fall through the floor?
Well, you wouldn't fall through Freddy or like the floor, but like all the walls, like I
Ah,
guess the
okay.
floor collision is still there, but it would just kind of become this like black void.
Okay, I see what you mean. I mean,
But the fact that it was caused by something as simple as I jumped before I got into Freddy.
I guess they didn't playtest it. I don't know.
I guess not.
Because like playtesters, their job is to. Scott had playtesters. He has like family playtest FNAF 1 for him.
Yeah,
So like playtesters are supposed, like, that's a job. Playtesting and QA testing is a job where you have to
yeah.
try to break the game, and trying and like doing innocuous stuff like, oh, I'm gonna jump before I get into Freddy, see if that breaks it. That's something that you should do like day one.
That's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I've been in scenarios where I'm like, oh, I wonder if I can like glitch into this spot here. You know, like it's not
yeah.
that hard to
Like
try and break
you're just
games.
playing the game, and then you see like a certain kind of, you see like the collision here, or like the fucking, I don't know. There's a part of the floor here that goes up slightly. Maybe I can use this to my advantage, type deal.
Maybe I can run so fast that I'm on this side of the floor one frame and on the other side of the floor the other frame, so I fall down.
Yeah,
Like, this wall is slanted, or this wall is like connected. There's a connection point at this wall. Maybe if I jump into it 5,000 times, one of those jumps will like glitch me through it.
yeah. I mean, a great example of that obviously is the ABC challenge, or the
Uh,
ABC.
the ABC, the 8-button challenge Mario 64. Well, that I can give the Mario 64 creator some slack, because aside from like backwards long jumping, a lot of the glitches they use in that game is pretty hard to
Or
find.
yeah, like I'm just saying it's very interesting
How games
that
can be broken, like their physics
yeah,
are uh, are completely separate from our own.
yeah, like the A button challenge is a incredible kind of
It's an incredible feat, to be
yeah.
honest. I mean, socially, I mean, culturally, it's like Mario is like the jump man. It's like, okay, let's let's do the Mario bit, but instead of jumping,
But
he
no
doesn't.
jump. Yeah.
It's essentially just a big puzzle. I mean, like today
Hmm.
they reduced the A count from like, what was it, 14 to 13, I think, or 13 to 12, one of the two.
Did they actually?
Yeah, the chess in the JRB, the chess in the sea was reduced from 1 to 0.5.
Oh, fucking pog.
Yeah, I'm I keep up on the Avon challenge. Now we just need Bowser in the sky, or
Bowser in the
Bowser
sky,
in the
yeah.
is Bowser in the fire? I think it's Bowser in the fire sea with the pole, and once you get past that, it's like fucking hell, man. We're almost at like single digit jumps to complete that game.
Yeah. Played a game that came out before 2000, didn't it?
It came out in 1996, I believe.
Jesus Christ.
It's older than me, older than you.
Yep. Well, there's a bit of a, I guess, tidbit for you. We're both born after 1996.
Yeah, I mean,
In case that wasn't obvious.
yeah. In case it wasn't obvious that we're both dumb Zoomers.
Yeah, dumb fucking Zoomer millennial.
Yeah,
No,
dude,
that's two different things.
I love Fortnite, straight up bussin'. For real, no
For
cap.
real, no cap.
God, you fucking.
All right,
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
fucking Zoomers.
Looking zooted, man. But going back to FNAF for a bit.
Hmm.
I always liked FNAF because its lore was understated, but it was very simple, all things considered.
Yeah.
It was just kids died, stuffed in the robots. The robots got possessed by the kids because they were stuffed in the robots, and they went to take revenge on their killer.
Hmm.
And it's so simple, but it makes for a nice background to like the gameplay, you know. It's tragic, but also sad. It's tragic, but also kind of scary, but also kind of triumphant at the same
supernatural.
time. But
Yeah.
then they kind of just overcomplicate things. It's like, no, okay, one of
Yeah.
them like created the animatronics in 1932 in like a bunker, and he like made one of them to kidnap because he wanted to test out how the kids possessed them, and so he started killing all the kids to try and get them to possess more. But then the guy's friend, he was like, oh, you can't do that. But then he kills the guy's friend's daughter, and the daughter becomes like the puppet, or the puppet is like trying to protect the kids. It's like fucking.
Yeah. It gets complicated very quickly.
It does. Like I think even 4 was a bit much, to be honest. I think 4 was really pushing. At 4, it kind of felt like game theory bait, if I'm being real.
Yeah.
Like the bite of
I
87.
will say though.
It's actually the bite of 83. Go on.
Yeah. I will say the FNAF 4 was probably like the scariest one.
FNAF 4 is
date.
unequivocally the best in the series. I will stand by that till the day I die.
Yeah. But the lore in that game, yeah, it's
Lore in that game I could do without.
yeah.
It's like, oh, the box at the end. It's like the story in FNAF 4 is overly convoluted. I would have liked it if FNAF 4 was just like it had no story. I think I would have really liked that. Maybe you did play as the Bite of 87 victim, or if they kept the cutscenes very simple like that. But instead, it's like, oh, actually, it's the Bite of 83. Also, there's a teddy bear follows you around. Also, all like there's all these family members, and there's like the dad wants to gas the child or something.
Yeah.
Michael's actually a zombie because zombies are a thing now. I don't know.
Zombies, yeah.
The gameplay FNAF. I mean, FNAF 4 takes the gameplay from 1 and just like simplifies it, which sounds crazy considering it's already so simple. But FNAF 1, it had all these cameras, but the optimal way to play was to check your doors, check one of the cameras, and then check the doors again. That was it. It was left, right, camera, the one camera, and then close it down, left, right, camera, And that's what FNAF 4 is. Except it takes advantage of that by having the doors, the actual doors. You have to look through. They're dark hallways. You have to listen for deep breathing. Like there could be a monster right next to you. And instead of the one camera being just like a tablet, you have to look in the closet. See if there's a monster in the closet.
Yeah. Yeah. It puts you in the position of like a terrified child, like checking for monsters in his fucking closet. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like the concept a lot. And I like how it's executed. I do. I think it's kind of weird how the child has 2 doors in his bedroom. That's very odd.
Yeah, it's very odd, but at the same time, it's like okay.
I didn't think about it. I didn't think of. I think I would have liked it if it was there was a better reason for him having 2 doors. Maybe one of the doors is like a fucking hell. I don't know. I don't know what you could do. Maybe it's like a window. I don't know. But the fact that it simplifies it and just plays into it by amping up the aesthetics instead of the gameplay, I think it really helps it out.
Yeah.
Like FNAF 3 is probably the worst for gameplay. Just because it's like random jump scares. You have no idea how to combat the phantoms. It feels really random. Jump scares aren't just a punishment for dying anymore. Now they're just a part of the gameplay, which is awful.
Yeah.
FNAF 2 has a lot of the same problems as FNAF 1, but kind of exemplified. Where instead of having to look through door, camera, now it's music box, flashlight, mask, music box, flashlight, mask. But also you have to look left and right. There's 12 animatronics instead of 4, so there's kind of more to look out for there. But you play it the same way. It's just more tediousness, I suppose.
More tedium.
I know a lot about FNAF.
You do. I'm not even gonna try to pretend that I know more, or even I'm on the same caliber as you.
I played Five Nights at Anime, which is a game where the robots are robot girls, and they try to come into your security room and smother you with their breasts and or ass. And I like that game a lot. It's hard though. I've been in it. Can't imagine really hard. Why. Because I'm a fucking cum-brained addict.
Brain.
But yeah, I like the story of FNAF, and I like the games a lot. I just wish they didn't overcomplicate things with the lore. I wish they kept things very simple.
Yeah.
Pizzeria Simulator, I think wasn't simple, and I don't like it for that. Oh, Sister Location. Fuck Sister Location, dude. I hate Sister Location.
Yeah.
As soon as I hear
Yeah,
that,
that one's like a lot of lore.
yeah, and
That one.
I'm like, FNAF really does not excel at in your face. Like here's the story. It
Yeah.
doesn't, because the more you think about it, it's like the sillier it gets. You know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I realize I'm not really adding much to this. I'm just kind of sitting here like
Oh, that's
more
fine.
or less just like agreeing with you because I don't know a lot about FNAF.
I like talking a lot, so this works out. It's just like the thumbnail. I'm talking, and you're just listening there with a little smile.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. It's just it's like the thumbnail, yeah.
Yeah. That's it in FNAF. I like cute anime girls. I wish they remade FNAF, but instead they're anime girls and they want to kiss you and give you a lot of kisses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was in class the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and we were playing a clip from a movie, and and we're playing it over and over again to like do the editing stuff, and the clip was I was like I never heard back. It was like some kind of very dramatic sad scene, and he's just saying over and over again because we're playing it over again. It's like I never heard back, I never heard back, I never heard back. And out of nowhere, I just said out loud because I wasn't thinking. I just said me when I'm on Tinder, and nobody laughed. I just say like that appeared in my head, and I just said it because it's like when you see a white woman and you're like white woman spotted.
White woman spotted.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Not particularly.
Well, I have more I want to talk about if you don't mind me talking more.
Yeah, shoot.
I would like to, I think sometime, maybe, definitely not this episode, but one episode of the podcast, I want to do like, I want to like react to videos. Like, I remember a while ago we watched an Anime Wins video and we talked about that. I think that was really fun. I want to do that. Maybe it'll be an Anime Wins video, but I really want us to to go through a video like that. I hate to bring it up, but I am just kind of ripping off EFAP, where they go through videos and pause and talk about them, but
yeah,
they don't own that. They're just really good at it.
Yeah,
and
that is absolutely something that we could do.
I think it'd make for a good episode.
I think Anime Wins is a good starting point. Admittedly, it's kind of punching down, but
that's fine. I don't care, dude. I'll kick the shit out of any child in front of me. Put a child in front of me, it's not going to last 5 seconds without having a boot in its mouth. Adorable as a creep. He is bisexual.
He is bisexual.
Anime Wins. I kind of want to do a like maybe if he has My Hero Academia, something that's really popular and everyone considers to be really good, but we consider to be really bad.
Hero, Boku no Hero.
We already. I mean, we've already done Shield Hero, so nothing will surprise us.
We're working on Shield Hero.
Yeah, we're working on Shield Hero. I like how it's weird working on it. I like that. I like having a friend.
That script is far too large to be made by one person.
No, yeah. It's coming. I mean, summer break, I'm probably going to work on a lot more because it's fucking hell, dude. College is stressing me out.
Yeah.
I have a project due by the end of today, which is going to take me like a half hour to do, but it was assigned like yesterday, so.
Yeah, you're fine.
And that was only one class, having all these things in my head, like I gotta do this, and I gotta do this, and I gotta do this, and I have all these timers going off. It's something I'm not used to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Anime Wins or Anime Sends would be an easy one because he's a very terrible content creator. I'm tempted to go on Twitter and be like, hey, what's a content creator you guys really like?
Completely shit all over.
They're like, what's an anime you really like? And they're like, oh, we really like Watamoe. And then we go to Watamoe Anime Wins. That's not true. I like Watamoe too. Maybe. Oh, does he have a Spice and Wolf Anime Sins video?
Oh no.
Oh, if he has Spice and breaking the illusion. I'm going on my phone and looking for that right now. If he does, that's what we're doing next episode.
Oh god.
Oh, please, for the love of God, tell me there's an Anime Sins Spice and Wolf.
Man. Oh Christ.
Oh, there is.
Oh no.
Oh, let's fucking go, dude. I'm so excited. We're gonna.
Oh no.
Maybe we can watch some Mother Basement videos and shit all over him.
Mother's Basement. I mean, he sometimes has good points. Sometimes.
Okay, sometimes.
It's not all the time, and they're far and few between. But
he did the roast of the Shield Hero video, which is just him complimenting Rising of the Shield Hero. So I don't know what the fuck that was about.
yeah, that video's real bad. It's.
There's a lot of anti-tubers we can make fun of. A lot of them are very dumb.
I mean, a lot of anime tubers are easy to make fun of.
Well, it's just the fact of the matter is like most anime is terrible.
Yeah, we're not gonna try to.
I mean,
say
in the same
otherwise.
sense that most cartoons are bad, and most movies are bad, and most TV shows are bad. Like most anime is really bad.
It is.
People don't notice that, I guess. But yeah, right. Anime Sins Spice and Wolf coming to you episode 4 or 5 or 6 or 7.
One of them. It'll be in there because oh boy,
that is.
I haven't even seen that episode yet. I know it's shit.
And I recently rewatched Spice and Wolf, both seasons. So, recently, quote unquote, it was like a month ago, maybe.
That's recent.
That's pretty recent. So I can't wait to watch it. And he's just gonna say like, "Oh, what's he gonna say?
What's he gonna say? Is he? Oh,
I don't like
infinitely more entertaining version
Oh.
of Spice and Wolf.
He called Rising the Shield Hero an infinitely how many? Oh, he's gonna be a guest. I want to come on.
Oh, wait.
No, I hate confrontation. I don't want that. Anime wins slash sins. If you're somehow listening to this, I'm sorry. I really don't like your content.
I'm sure you're probably a fine person.
Maybe.
You have a lot of real bad points in your videos.
Your videos are awful.
I can't defend them.
They're
I'm
awful.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
We watched the Anime Wins version of Mushoku Tensei, and like we both really like Mushoku Tensei, and we're like, this is such an easy anime to compliment, but you're doing such a bad job at it.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of things, and like even the first episode of Mushoku Tensei warrants an entire video going over why.
There was a lot to compliment the first episode of Mushoku Tensei, but he does the Anime Wins video, and it's just like, oh, this is nice animation.
This is nice animation.
I get that
that's it.
I get that it's a CinemaSins copy, and CinemaSins also sucks, but you couldn't like CinemaSins format. You can do a lot of good stuff with that format. You know?
Oh, you totally can. It's just a lot of people don't.
It's a quick form going through a movie and saying all the problems with the movie. That's really good on paper. The fact of the matter is, CinemaSins is just wrong a lot of the times, and he's not funny. Get a guy who's right and also funny, and there you get me. And there you go.
Yeah.
Get me, who's right and also fucking hilarious, and then you'll be great.
You gotta have that confidence.
Yeah. Speaking of right and fucking hilarious,
hello.
Good job. Team Fortress 2 was there was an update that was announced, and everyone was really excited, and like the jaded asshole I am, I was like, nope, I don't believe it. I don't think this is going to happen. Even though they said there's an update coming, I don't believe them. And then lo and behold, like a few days later, they went back on it and said, no, never mind. And everyone was disappointed.
They didn't go back on it. They said like a holiday-sized update to like, I guess, temper expectations.
Well, they said update-sized update. And they said,
then,
who knows
like,
what's going to come out.
3 days later, they backpedaled and said holiday-sized update. And
holiday-sized updates are not updates. That's just where they add fucking community-made hats and like a few maps.
That's where they add 2 crates and maybe a couple of maps.
that they didn't
And
make.
I want a Valve map. God
Well,
damn it.
they said in the update patch notes, they said there was going to be new items, and I'm like, oh, does that mean weapons? Because I can't think of what else that would possibly mean. Because they have say
Yeah, no.
cosmetics, maps, and items. Okay, so it's not cosmetics or items. Like, when have they ever done a blog post for a holiday-sized update before? They have never done that.
No.
Like, previous to it coming out, you know?
It's like a new item is like the most recent weapon in that got added to TF2 is like the Quickie Bomb launcher and the Iron Bomber, and that came out
like what,
in
2016?
2016, 2017 in like a weekend patch that was not involved with any updates. It was so weird.
It is. I don't know why. I don't know, man. I just feel so vindicated, or is that the right word? Vindicated? For being the pessimist asshole that I am.
I mean, I guess. I guess that would be vindicated. Vindicated? Not
Vindicated.
vilified.
Yeah, vindicated. I'm thinking in the terms of like something happens that proves you right and you feel better. Like I'm vindicated. Like if I said Biden's actually like a 3-year-old antlion in a suit, and then it turns out that he was, I'd feel vindicated.
Yeah.
Hot political takes. Biden is an antlion in a suit. What's your hottest political take right now?
Hottest political take?
Yeah. Who are you voting for the upcoming 2024 election?
I'm voting for Kanye. Oh wait, no, that's actually it's actually bad now, isn't it?
What?
He's
no,
like...
you're just voting for the most popular candidate. That's not a hot take.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Kanye is gonna win.
Man, he really went off the deep end, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of funny because no one ever hears about Kanye anymore now. He's kind of just off the grid.
Well, I mean, after that kind of stunt, I can imagine why he just kind of went off the grid.
He's fine though. He is a... Oh no, wait, he's not. I was about to say he has $1 billion, but I'm pretty sure they froze his assets.
Yeah.
Oh man. Sorry,
I wonder
bud.
why.
Shouldn't have said the wrong thing.
I wonder why they would freeze all of his assets.
Oh, remember, man,
he says those specific kind of things.
You can say whatever you want as long as it's the right thing. What he said was wrong, but you shouldn't be able to. You shouldn't have your life stolen from you just because you say a wrong thing.
Yeah,
that's my hot take. You want to hear a very hot take?
Oh boy.
I think abortion should not only be legal. I think abortion should be mandatory. That's how fucking progressive I am.
I think it should be mandatory.
Think about it. I'm just gonna... Don't even elaborate, just say think about it. Think about it.
I think about it. No, I'm thinking we're just...
Yeah, you get it.
Just kill the species.
Yeah, I think all of our money should have pictures of me on it. I think once a month we should have a lottery where whoever wins gets shot.
Oh. Huh.
Just for fun.
What fucking short story was that? It was like the lottery or something. It was like you get selected every month and they just stone you.
I don't know.
I remember reading that in high school.
That was a messed up story. I know in New Vegas there was a lottery where they were going to kill an entire town, but the first place lottery winner would get to leave, and the second place lottery winner would have their legs crippled. It's kind of ironic too.
Funny.
The guy. It's not funny. It kind of is, because the guy who wins, he's like, "Yeah, I won," and then he runs into the desert and gets killed by a rad scorpion immediately. But then the guy who's crippled is like an actual. He's fine. He's just in a house crippled. So,
Mm,
it's kind of funny how fate works. Um,
interesting.
yeah. Ugh. So, eventually one day we're gonna have a guest and we're gonna react to a video. I think that'll be really fun.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, maybe we have someone.
And, like, I am unironically like really excited to record that episode where we react to the fucking anime. Is it anime wins or sins that we're gonna
It's
do?
anime. We're gonna react to anime sins, Spice and Wolf.
That is gonna be.
Well, there's gonna be no dead air because occasionally we have moments where we just don't know what to say or the energy's kind of
Oh
low.
no, it's gonna be filled.
It's gonna be
It's gonna be
constant.
at
This guy's
least
fucking
2
stupid.
hours.
It's gonna be 2 hours of like this guy's wrong for these reasons and this video is awful. He's gonna say some very unusual things. I don't know. We don't know what's in that video, but we know it's not gonna be a good one.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think I'm gonna have to cut anything out because like this episode I'm gonna have to cut a bit things out where we have like
There's a
connection
couple of like
problems
dead air.
or we have dead air.
Yeah.
I think I will cut some stuff out like that, but God, oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
We'll have maybe he'll. I don't know if I'd want him to come on the podcast. Not that I'm like looking. Not that I'm expecting him to want to or anything. I'm just thinking in my head because I know EFAP would do that occasionally. People they cover would come on the podcast, and I'm like, I don't know if I'd want to talk to him. I'm like too scared of confrontation, man.
I listen. I feel like he's got his heart in the right place, but he doesn't make great content.
He doesn't. It's just I can't imagine saying I can say that to his face because I'm pretty sure I told you this, but in film school we had to watch each other's films. And I'm in first year, they're second years, and all the first years went to go watch the second year's films while the second years were there too. And we watched one of them, and the teacher said, "What'd you guys think of that film?" And nobody said anything for like a solid 5 seconds. So I just said out loud, very loudly, I said, "I really hated it. It was terrible." And people started laughing because I think they felt the same way. They just didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
And the teacher was like, "Why?" And I went on for a while about why I hated it. And thankfully, I was sitting far away enough from the guy who made it that he didn't beat me up. But he didn't get to say anything back to me because like this is this part where we're supposed to give criticism, and I did. I did give legitimate criticism. I didn't just say this is stupid and dumb and stupid and you're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
We should watch that film sometimes, though. I need you to see how fucking awful it is. But with anime sins, I don't know. I'd feel too bad because he'd be able to respond to what I'm saying. I can dish it out, but I can't take it back.
Yeah.
In the sense that, like, I don't mind if he said my content was bad. I don't think I'd take it too badly. But if he started yelling at me, I'd probably just break down and cry. I wouldn't yell at him. I'd say very calmly, like, your videos are bad for these reasons. Like, what's with that? But if he started yelling at me, saying like, "Oh, you're fucking stupid. I just hate you. Why are you doing this? You can't." I'm just be like, "Okay, man. I'm sorry."
No, sorry.
That's why I like having you because you're like stronger than me. You're like my. You make me feel safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a come on. He started getting very loud and aggressive, and I'd like back down. I don't know. You would be like, "Hey man, you're being very rude." I don't think I appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
Or whatever you'd say. I don't know what you'd say. Maybe I'm overhyping you.
You might be. I'm not a fan of confrontation. I'm not even gonna. I'm not. It's
scary, uncomfortable.
I don't know. I don't like it. It makes it's uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, but I'll do it if I have to.
So, but long story short, I don't think we're gonna ask Anime Sins to come on the podcast.
Yeah. I think it would be, I think it would be fun to have him on, but
maybe if he's nice.
Yeah.
You know, if he's really angry and yells, I don't think I'd want him on.
See, I can't see him being like that. He just he seems very optimistic.
He seems very high energy.
Yeah. Like I can't see him being too distraught over anything that we would have to say.
I hope
Type
not.
deal.
Because, like, you know, we can be a bit, like, mean spirited when we cover the videos. We'd be like, he's stupid. But
Yeah.
it's just what he's saying. It's not him himself.
Yeah.
As
No,
far as we
it's
know.
yeah.
Don't, please, for the love of God, do not tag him. Do not tag him and be like, oh, look
Ping,
what these guys said
ping
about
him.
it.
Ping him. Do it.
Oh no, it's gonna. I don't want. I don't want people to know that I'm. Okay. But yeah, guests and reacting. I don't know. I like Wasted Potential a lot. I think this is a very good outlet for the both of us. Adds a very good archive of all our conversations.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah,
I gotta admit.
I have fun with it a lot. I mean, I've been listening to because like the second episode, I'm listening through again. Like, I really enjoy listening to our conversations, even if they happened like a week ago. I'm like, this is a very good conversation. I would listen to it 3 times.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
remember.
it's weird how it works like that, huh?
Yeah. I guess it's because most people are very bad conversations. They're just small talkers, you know? They don't really know how to have conversations about AI or media or what artists are like.
Hmm.
I mean, we've only done the first 3 episodes. Like, I imagine, I hope that we'll improve at this as time goes on.
Yeah, we definitely will get better as we go on. I know, personally, I don't feel too great about my my performances a lot. Like I have a lot of dead space whenever I talk. I'm starting to realize. But that's just because as I'm talking, I have to take time to think about the words that are going to come out of my mouth next.
We're kind of like the reverse like that, aren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't do this without you. Like, I think you really enable me to talk the way I do.
Yeah.
And
It's
also, I think you're pretty
same
good at
here.
talking, to be honest.
I think we work good as like a as an idea board, I think it's called.
As a symbiosis, we both bounce off each other pretty well.
Yeah, I think we've got that kind of dynamic.
Yeah.
Which is pretty useful.
This is a very meta episode.
Yeah, maybe.
I hope I don't want to try. I don't want to do that too much because you know talking about the podcast itself can get pretty repetitive after a while. But I don't know. I think it's nice. Episode 3, we can look over the first 2 episodes and how we've been doing so far and what the future's like.
Yeah.
Second.
Yeah. No, go for it. Dude.
Like the second episode is unlisted right now. It's uploaded, but once I make sure that once I make sure that episode is of good quality, like it's good to be published, I'd recommend giving that a listen. I think we did really good on that second episode. Maybe just because
the first one was just kind of like I guess figuring out the groove of recording this kind of thing. Yeah. But the second episode, I think we improved.
I mean, it feels like a really nonstop conversation, to be honest.
Yeah.
My only regret is that I don't think I'm ever going to do this again, but the game audio was a little bit louder than I would have liked.
Mm-hmm.
And that it bugs me.
Like you said, we're still figuring it out.
Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait for that Shield Hero video to come out because then I can actually promote this podcast without a guilty conscience. So
yeah, that video, that's gonna be like, 14 hours.
Yeah. Well, okay. Maybe it. Oh my god, I know it's gonna be at least 6.
At least, yeah.
And I don't like to do 2-part. I don't want to do multiple parts. I really don't. I think it's gonna be really cool to have a very long singular video. I'm gonna have timestamps and stuff so people don't have to watch the whole thing, but at once, you know. But point is, once that gets out, and it's gonna be really good, I hope. I'm gonna be able to promote this podcast more, and we'll have quite a few episodes out once that happens. So you know, it'll be nice.
Yeah, and anybody that is from the future. I mean, hopefully, it's gonna be. Hopefully, the future isn't too shit.
Who's the president? Who's the president? Is it me? Am I president?
Is the
Did
president
Kanye come
still
back?
like an actual role?
Skynet take over? Did a meteor hit the Earth? Am I dead? Oh, I don't want to think about that. Oh,
Did
jeez.
the nukes finally hit?
Nah, man. I don't think World War III is gonna happen. Just because it wouldn't be good for like the people who actually control the world, you know? Those people under the mountains, they're like that World War III. That just wouldn't be good for them.
Yeah.
Because they need like the humans. They need like the people to like be their slaves and make them money and power their internal life machines. If they conduct a World War III, that's just gonna ruin everything.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for saying like this is a completely normal thing, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, it totally is.
Yeah, there's select few people,
listen,
the Illuminati, who control the world.
You don't think World War III is going to happen? I'm just waiting for it, honestly.
I think I'm just in
There's
denial.
no doubt in my mind that it's just going to happen soon. I don't know how soon.
Well, I mean, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We live in the perfect time, right after all the cool technology gets invented, but right before we're all nuked to death. Like, we live in the golden age.
Yeah.
I do find war kind of funny, though.
That's where we are right now.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, maybe this will come out, and then fucking a week later, World War III, and it's like, oh.
Well...
That's going to be trouble for the podcast.
Well, assuming we can even look back on this, assuming, power is a thing, the internet is, still there. I mean...
That might be trouble for our...
I take a lot of things for granted.
That might be in trouble for our engagement, but yeah.
Yeah.
We do. Like, I think about this a lot. I really want a bunker with, like, just in the middle of the woods, all my books, I have, like, generators, and, like isolated from the rest of the world, and just underground. It has all these canned foods that will last me for years and years and years. I really want that just as, like, a safety net.
Yeah.
So if, God forbid, the nukes drop, like, I'll have, like, zombies come, I'll be safe.
Yeah.
If raiders come by and they go through like the scorched woods to see what's left, like they're not going to be able to find it. And if they do somehow, they're not going to be able to come in. If they want to come in, they're like, "Please, there's bears." I'll be like, "Nah, I'm not falling for this again." But that's something I really want. I want that bunker. I think if I ever become rich, that's like number one on my list, is having that bunker.
Yeah.
There's an island I know about.
Yeah, I get it.
There's an island I know about that I think would make for a good bunker spot. Actually, maybe not, because flooding might happen. I'll think of this on my own.
Epstein Island?
No! Don't say that! He didn't kill himself! Why would you say that?
He didn't. He didn't kill himself. Everybody knows he didn't kill himself.
It's hilarious. Everyone knows he didn't kill himself, and nobody cares because nobody can do shit about it.
Nobody can do fuck all. I saw there was a post on Reddit that got removed, where it was like all the documents from the court. It got released.
The Epstein court?
The Epstein court case, and there is like 2,000 names, I think, that got leaked on those flight logs.
Ooh.
Which is...
Osama.
Osama bin Laden.
Apparently he really liked, what was it called? Black Bible? Anyway, point is, I haven't even heard, like, nobody's reported on this. It's
yeah. They posted that on Reddit, and it was posted on, I think it was r/interesting as fuck, and the mods removed it.
Well, obviously, it just wasn't that interesting.
I can't think of anything that's, like, more interesting right now.
Yeah, I guess maybe they thought they'd get in trouble. I don't know. I hope that's all it was. I hope it wasn't, like, the government being like, take this down. I can't imagine it is. I'm going for the optimistic answer here. I mean, that's the funny thing about war. I because like there's a lot of people who enlist in the army in Canada. But what do they do
Uh, they do
aside
odd
from
jobs.
like odd jobs and classified shit? Well, I
Yeah,
guess that's probably the majority of it, isn't it? But I mean,
yeah.
like, we don't have any stations. We don't have any turrets on our on our coastline defending against like
Like our
outsiders.
borders. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, man, we don't have any wars going on right now. Like, I don't think I'd want to be a.
yeah. Like there's not
Oh, hold on,
like
dude.
obviously you want to have some amount of military force just on the ready for any time. You know.
Hold on. I gotta go take a big doo doo right now. I'll be back in a bit. I'm gonna cut this out.
He's gonna cut this out.
If you want to talk while
I'm
I'm
gonna
gone,
put
you
it back
can.
in.
I'm probably just gonna cut this out.
He's gonna cut this out, apparently. I'm gonna sneak into his house and put this part back in, just so that everybody knows that Journal shits. And he'll never suspect a thing. Never suspect a thing.
Is it over now?
Did you want to record an outro?
We
Be
can.
like, I mean, we may as well.
Well, we can just say like, okay, episode's over now.
Yeah. Are you recording right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. Episode's over. Pack it up. Let's go. Next episode, we're gonna be doing what was it? Anime wins or sins?
Anime Sins.
Sin.
Spice. Next episode on Waste Potential, we're going to be doing Anime Sins. Spice and Wolf Part 1, maybe Part 2. It's 30 minutes in total.
Maybe part two. Yeah,
So,
that 30-minute video is gonna be at least 2 hours.
yeah. Oh my god, at least 2 hours. That's an
So
absolute. So, see you next
look
time.
forward to that.
Nah. Gary,
We're wasting your potential.
I don't like that. Stop doing that. That's not a good bit.
Oh, it's a hilarious bit. This is gonna be our trademark.
Oh.
Also, I have fun with it.
Okay, I'm ending the recording.
You gotta have fun with it. Okay, end the recording.
It's over.